Hi, welcome to the video Java Connect to Apache Derby database in network client mode with me Nam Haming from CodeJava.net. Through this video, I will guide you how to use the Apache Derby database in client server mode with Apache Derby database server running in a separate process and a Derby client program written in Java that connects to Derby database server via network using a JDBC API. And here are the details which you will learn through this video. Download distribution of Derby database. Create a new Derby database using the IJ tool. Start a Derby database server. Code a Derby client program using JDBC to make a connection and execute SQL statements to insert some rows and select rows from a table. And you will learn how to code a Derby client program in a normal Java project as well as a Maven project, and how to enable authentication and enable remote connection for the Derby database server. Firstly, we need to download a distribution of Derby database. So head over to the home page of Derby database at this URL db.apache.org/derby. Yeah, this is the home page of Apache Derby. And click the download menu here. And in this video, I will be using Derby database for Java 9 and higher. So click the latest version. As of now is version 10.15.2.0 here, and download from a mirror site. And in this directory structure, go to DB directory here, and the Derby directory here, and choose latest version 10.15.2.0, and download the binary distribution in zip archive file here. So click this link to download the binary distribution of Apache Derby database onto this computer. Okay, download complete and show in folder. This is the distribution of Derby database, and I move this archive file into a separate directory on another driver. So I create a new folder Derby, yeah, Derby, and paste the zip file here and extract the file. Okay, and go into the directory of Apache Derby, and you can see there are several directories, and we pay attention to the lib directory where we can use the jar files for developing client programs that connect to the Derby database server. And in the bin directory, there are several script files which you can use to manage the Derby database server. Now let's create a new Derby database using the IJ tool. So we need to open a new command prompt here and change the current directory in the Windows command prompt to the lib directory where we have the jar files here, and copy this path and change the current directory to here, and type this command java-jar to execute a runnable Java program. Derby run.jar and ij to start Derby run.jar to start the ij2 command line 2 that is used to manage Derby databases. And you can see we are in the ij2 version 10.15 here. And to create a new Derby database, we type this command connect and followed by a JDBC URL, JDBC:derby, and then the path to the database Here I specify the absolute path in the eDriver directory DB, and the database directory is shopme with the parameter create equal to create a new database. Okay, a new database shopme has been created, and we can check by open the directory DB here, and you can see a new directory named shopme created here, and inside there are several directories and files created by DB. And now come back to the IJ2, and we type a SQL statement to create a new table. Create table. Table name is products with some columns ID of type integer, not null, and we specify that the values of this ID column will be automatically generated. So we use this syntax generated always as identity, and the second column is name with data type is varchar. Varchar 30 is the length, and price, the third column is price of type float here. That's it. A SQL statement to create a new table. Hit enter, and in IJ2 we can type this command show tables to see all the tables in the database. And note that the table schema start with sys is system tables, and user table is with the schema app here, and you can see the table name products here with the schema app here, and we can type the command describe to see the structure of the product table, and you can see it prints the column names and the data type of each column in the table. We have 3 columns, ID, name, and price here, and you can type a SQL select statement to select all rows from the products table, and you can see the table products is now empty, no rows. So that's how to create a new DB database using the IJ2. Very simple and easy, right? And type the command exit to quit the IJ2. Now I'm going to show you how to start the DB database server. First, we need to change the current directory in the command prompt to the directory where we have the database directory. It is the DB directory in the eDriver with the database directory shopme here. So we change the current directory to that directory here, and you can see we need to start the database server in the directory where we have the database directory shopme here, and type the command java-ja and point to the path of the wrun.ja, wrun.ja here, and with the parameter server and start. You see the server has started, and it prints some login information here. You can see Apache Derby network server here, version number 10.15.2.0 here. That means the server is up and running, and it is waiting for the connection from clients on the port number. You can see the default port number of the database server is 1527 here. And now let's code the Derby client program in Java. So this is Eclipse IDE. You go to menu file, new Java project, normal Java project. Project name is Derby client demo. And I choose Java version is Java 11 because the version of the database requires Java 9 or higher. Finish. Don't create the module. Okay, we have a very basic new Java project here, and create a new main class. Derby client program. Package name is net.code Java. Check this option to create the main method to launch the application. Here we go. And in order to connect to the network, the database server, we need to define a JDBC URL. JDBC URL is JDBC :derby, and then the host name or IP address of the server. Here we have the Derby database server running in the same computer on localhost. So the host name is localhost, and the port number is 1527. The default port number of the B database server 1527. And then the database name is shopme, which is a database we have created before in this directory. And then we can use JDBC API to make a connection to the server. So create a new connection object from the driver manager method add connection for the given JDBC URL. Notice that we are running the database server in non-authenticated mode, which doesn't require username and password. So here we can use only JDBC URL without credentials. So import connection interface from the package java.sql, and we try catch this statement. And basically, when an exception occurs, SQL exception, we print the exception stack chase. And here, after the statement that opens a new connection, we can show that it has connected to the server, connected to the B server, and then we close the connection. Close. Now, let me try to run this program. We run as Java application, and we got an error, as you can see, SQL exception, no suitable driver file for this URL. That means we need to add some jar files for the big client. So in this project, create a new directory where we put the jar files. So create a new folder, Eclipse, and go to the Derby distribution directory here inside the lib directory. And for a client program, we need only two jar files that are Derby client and Derby shared here, Derby client and Derby share. So we copy these two jar files, copy into the project directory libs here, paste, and we configure the project to use these jar files in the Java build path here, class path, adjust, and choose the two jar files here. Okay, apply and close, and run the program again. And you see it prints connected to the B server. That means the program has successfully connected to the B database server from localhost at this port and at this database name. Now let me stop the database server. In a command prompt, we can press the Control C to stop the server. You see the server has been stopped. And now let me run this program again, and this time it should print error. You can see we got error here. Error connecting to server localhost here because the server is stopped. Now let's update this client program to insert a new row into the products table in the Shopee database here. So we define a SQL statement, insert statement, insert into table products for the columns name and price and values. Value for name is iPhone 12, price 999, and we need to get a statement object from the collection in order to execute the SQL statement. To this statement, and we call the method execute query from the statement object, execute query, and pass the SQL statement. And this the method name is execute query. And this execute query method returns an integer value indicating the number of rows affected by this query. So we assign the return value to my mistake. It should be execute update to execute insert statement. We check if the return value of the rows greater than 0. That means a new row has been inserted into the database. So we print a message here. A new row has been inserted. And finally close the correction. And now let me run this program again. We got error because the database server has not been started. So we need to start the B database server. Okay, it has started. Now run the program again. And you see it prints a new row has been inserted. We can verify using IJ2. So we can open a new command prompt window and change the current directory to the lib directory of the B database, the B distribution directory here, and type the command java-jar and the B run.jar and ij. Here we are in the ij2, and we can connect to the database server by specifying this JDBC URL, the B and hostname localhost port number 1527 database Shopee connected, and we can select asterisk select all rows from the table products, and you can see there are one row with the product name iPhone 12 and price 999 here. Perfect, right? We can run the current program again by modifying the SQL statement to insert another product. For example, Samsung Galaxy 10, price is 789, and run the program again. Successful, and we can verify using the IJ2 here. You can see now there are two rows, iPhone 12 and Samsung Galaxy 10 here. Next, I'm going to show you how to create a second project, a Maven project to develop the Bclan application. So create a new project and choose Maven project here, and check this option to create a simple project. Enter the group ID is net.code.java. Artifact ID is Derby and network clan. Finish. Here we have a Java Maven project was created here, and change the Java version. They are read to version Java SE 11 here, and open the Maven project file pom.xml here, and to use dependency for the Bclan, we need to specify a dependency. So you can go to Maven repository, here, and search for the Bclan, and you can see the first result here for the version 10.15.2.0 here, and you can see the dependency XML here, and copy and paste into the POM file here inside the dependencies section here. Okay, save the change, and Maven we download the required Java files for developing a Java the Bclan program, and you can see there are two Java files, the Bclan and the Bshare here, and then we can copy the code from the first project. So I copy the entire package here, paste here, and modify the program to connect to the DB database server, and this time we will execute a SQL statement to retrieve data from the products table. So close the first project, close project here. So we modify this program to execute a select SQL statement. Here, update the SQL statement to select asterisk to select all rows or columns from the table products. Create a statement object, and then we call the method execute query for the given SQL statement. Execute query, and this method execute query returns a result set that contains the data. So we assign the return object to a variable of type of result set result here, and then we can iterate over the rows in the result set using a while loop. While result next return true, we can read the data from each row. First we need to get the ID of the product, so we can use the method getInt. GetInt, we get the value of a column that stores the data in the type of integer, and the column name is ID, and then we can get the name of the product. Name equal result get string, because name is stored in the column of data type is varchar name, and the price is in float data type. Result get float, column name is price. In the IJ2, you can see here we have three columns: ID, name, and price here. Okay, and then we print the information of each row in this while loop. Here, system.out line. Here I use the printf percent %d for the ID, percent %s for name, and percent %f for the price, and backward slash n for new line character, and the arguments ID, name, and price. That's it. And run this program. Run as Java application. And you see it prints 2 rows for the products iPhone 12 and Samsung Galaxy 10 here. Perfect, right? Now I'm going to show you how to start a database server in authentication mode. That means the client program we need to provide username and password in order to connect to the server. So we start by creating a new properties in the directory where we start the server. Here you see in the Derby directory here, and I open the node text editor notepad here and type this information. Derby dot connection dot require authentication equal true, and then Derby dot authentication dot provider equal built-in, and then we specify the username and password for the database Derby.user followed by the username. For example, username is name hm and password is password1, and save this file under the directory where we start the database server Derby here, and store the file under the name Derby.properties, and choose all files here. Save. Okay. And then we start the Derby database server in a command line here. Type this command java -jar, and then the directory to the lib directory db here, lib, and then the jar file derby run not jar, and server start. Okay, the Derby database server has started, and now let me try to run the client program in Java again here, and run this program again. And you see we got an error, connection authentication failure occur here. That means we need to provide username and password to connect to the database server. So we need to specify the username here. Username is namehm, which is a username I have specified in the derby.properties file, and then password is password1. Yeah, open the derby.properties file, and you can see yeah, username is namehm and password is password1. Yeah, and pass the username and password to the get connection method here. Okay, and run the program again. Let me see. We got another error, schema name sm does not exist because when we use the username, we look for the tables in the schema with the name same as the username. So because the products, the Xiaomi in database, it was created with the schema app. So we need to update the SQL statement. Select asterisk from app.products here and run the program again. You see, now it has connected to the database server successfully and brings 2 rows from the products table here. Perfect, right? That's how to enable authentication for the database server and how to update the client program to connect to the database server. In this section, I will show you how to start the database server to enable remote connections from remote computers. So we need to start the database server with these parameters: server start, and then the flag -h, and specify the host name or IP address of the server. For example, I check the IP of this computer, and you can see the IP address is here, 192.168.1.1.6 here. So I specify the IP address of the server here, 192.168.1.6 here. Okay, and now we can update the client program to use IP address instead of localhost here, 192.168.1.6 here, and run the program again. Suppose that this client program is being developed on another computer, so you need to specify either IP address and hostname of the database server and run the program. And you can see it connected to the server successfully and prints the data from the products table here. So that's how to enable remote connections for the database server. You need to specify these parameters -h and followed by hostname or IP address of the server. And in the client program, you need to specify the IP address or hostname of the remote server. Okay, so far you have learned how to download a distribution of the database, how to create a new database using the IJ2, how to start the database server, and how to code a client program in Java using a JDBC API to make a connection and execute SQL Insert and Select statements. And you also learned how to code the client program in a normal Java project and in a Maven project. And you also learned how to enable authentication and enable remote connection for the database server. I hope you found this video helpful. Please help me to grow this channel by clicking subscribe button and then like, comment, and share this video. Thank you.